All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for
Ancient Magus Bride. Episode 10.
Episode 10.
Yes.
And we're going to the land of the
dragons.
I'm
very
this
happy.
place. Yes, I'm very happy
Last
too.
time we went there, it was quite amazing. So.
Yes. And we ended the last episode in a bit of an awkward place because Chise confronted Elias.
She did.
It was quite good. It was a good thing that she did that because she was expressing not only her care for him, but just kind of her frustration with kind of the way he's been handling things, you know.
Exactly.
Recently.
Connection, you know, it's two-way street. You need to both be open with each other about things and all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I like that Chise has been slowly coming more and more into her own. I feel like that's the point of this story, is that we're going to get open to this magnificent world, and then we're going to have this magnificent character slowly unveil who she is and really come in and, I would say, take a hold of who she is as well.
Yeah, because up till this point, and it's kind of, it's ironic because, you know, she's in that adolescent age, but where you have to decide who you are.
Right.
And especially in her case, because of her past situation.
Right.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they go into that here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I've missed Lyndon or Lyndall.
Lyndall, yeah.
Lyndall, he is a fantastic character.
Yes.
And every moment he was on screen with the Dragonflight episode... Oh, I loved
that whole episode was amazing.
That whole episode was amazing. So I'm excited to go back there.
Yeah.
And he showed up with his splendid, magnificent dragons, huge. Mm-hmm. And he also showed up with a familiar of his own. Yes. Which is like, oh yeah, I forgot. All mages have some kind of familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all generally fairies, but, you know, Chise is kind of...
Chise's got a special.
He's got a sort of fairy, you know. Yeah. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into this episode and see what happens.
Wolves. Snow and wolves.
Yes.
What a great start.
Oh! Yeah, this is just like Beauty and the Beast with the wolves and...
Yep.
Is this backstory?
I think it might be.
Whoa. He's just shoving them off like they're nothing.
Okay. The visuals are amazing. I mean, that's normal, but...
Oh, great transition there.
He looks a lot smaller.
He does. I was gonna say, but I didn't want to presume.
Oh, that's right.
This little blob thing. Oh, cool. That's right. Out of the tree that the ancient dragon formed into. Wait, is he talking about Elias as his son? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
that's true. Yeah.
Wait. Is this the little dragon that was there last time?
Whoa.
Yeah, it is. It is. And now he's so big. Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
that's sweet.
That's so sweet. I'm so happy.
Okay.
It's cold. Don't freeze.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there awkwardly staring.
Yep.
Wait, was that kind of a, like, I want to tell you something relationship-wise, but I don't have the courage. Oh!
And
gorgeous visuals. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's smart. The spell also removes the wind resistance factor.
So your
sort
eyeballs
of,
don't get
sort of.
out,
It reduces it. Good grief, this dragon's fast.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
And they're already?
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is so cool. He's still out there. He's got the ache of his companion having left. Right. Linda, yeah.
Are those reindeer?
I think so.
Yeah, she probably wasn't eating right before.
I look so fashionable. Yes, I knew you would say something like that. Oh, they are reindeer.
Wow.
Oh, that's legit. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Big Uncle Nevin. Toss a sharp object. Of course.
Don't fall. Oh.
She literally just almost fell with a saw in her hand.
More importantly, she was pretty high up. Don't roll another nat 1.
Yeah, seriously.
ありがとう、銀の君。あの子は喋る方じゃないのに、ひどく空気が冷たく感じる。
Yeah.
こんにちは、ミスター・エインズワース。
Okay.
私はカレッジ管理局のおします。
The college administration.
Would you like you to come work for us, or?
深
Oh,
くお話しさせていただきたく思います。
Oh, the plot thickens.
all right.
昔はそういうものも多かったんだがの。
Nice.
So healers are official.
トンと生まれんの。
リン
It
デ
got
ルさんはい
depressing.
つから生きている
Yeah, let's break the silence. Yeah.
他の魔法使いもみんな長生きなんですか？
だから今日あんなに騒いでたのですね。
あのバカ骨め、何も説明しとらんではないか。これでは。
すみません。エリアスに聞かなかった私が悪いんです。
あれはどうもお前を飼いならしたいように思う。
Oh, that's
トナカイのように。
not
Yeah.
good.
知性。お前もまたそれをよしとし
Thank
て。
you.
Oh. This is gonna be a tough
私は
episode.
自分を産んだ人に産まなきゃよかったと言われました。エリアスだけが私を
Okay.
手元に置いてくれて。だから私はあの人が言わないことは聞かないし、都合のいい人間でいたいんです。
Okay.
まだ世界は遥か遠く暗く、
Whoa.
蒸気の力も太古の地層より湧く油もない時代だ。
All right.
古より我々魔法使いは自らはただ人ではないとおのずからさ、そう生まれつく定めだっただけかもしれん。
All right. So there's mystery
だが
even
納
among
得
the,
できる
the
ものは
knowledgeable.
理由を探し続けた。なぜ自分がそうなのか、何か果たすべき使命があるのではとな。
Right. It's all the questions that
そ
regular
れを
humans
探
ask
し
as
同
well.
胞が幾人も付していった。わしがまだその道理を嫌って一人遊牧の旅を
That's
し
why
て
he
いた
became a
頃だ。
nomad. He just wants to live and
ある
just...
より狼が出て
Sure.
Yeah.
夜通し番をする羽目になった。
Oh, this ties in the beginning stuff. This is
だが
where he met
狼は来なかった。
Elias. It,
あれが
yeah, Elias.
Okay.
それは夜が二つ足で歩むが
Wow.
ごとくやっ
Holy
てきた。
crap.
All right. Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
おい、どうした？
お腹すいた。
All right.
I'm hungry. Passes out immediately.
Personification of night in itself.
Yep.
気がついたかの？夜通し寝とったぞ。図
Reindeer
体がで
soup.
かくて運ぶに骨が折れた。お主、どこから来た？
わからない。
Oh.
気がついたら森にいて、いつの間にか歩い
Okay.
て、
Oh.
人を避けて歩いて、
So
歩いて、
maybe
歩い
I
たら
guess Elias
ここに
didn't transform himself to look like
もう
this.
疲れた。
とりあえずわしの師匠のもとへ行こう。あれはよくわから
Cool.
ないお
Lindell's
人だな。
master.
Yeah.
住んでいるのが地の裏かも。すぐそばなのかもしれぬし。
Okay.
生きておるのは100年後か100年前かもしれぬ。
Is she like
おせっかい
outside
で
of
身の
time
振
and
り方を
space
教
or
えて
something?
もら
She's
え
a
る
really
やもし
powerful maid.
君は
わしはリンデル。ただ人はわしらのような者たちを魔法使いと呼ぶな。いにしえのうせ者探しの方じゃ。
Oh.
頭皮の
Okay.
束ね、赤い毛糸を巻いて放つ。地を
Cool.
覆う頭皮は森の神の食卓。霧の向こうの我が縁者のもとへ連れて行きたも。
All right.
霧が濃くなる。離れるなよ。
I like how Elias seems so docile,
Right.
but so like terrifying looking.
Exactly.
Because he's contrasted by the snow's color and
Yeah,
just
right.
where he just kind of
Which
shows
is-
up and
Oh yeah, that's great because snow represents new beginnings.
yes, yes. Cool.
Okay. For a second, I thought he was talking about the sea itself.
Right. Little island here. Rahab.
Rahab. Okay.
Oh, cool.
リンデルか。
Nice.
珍しいね。お前がここに顔を見せるなんて。お前はもっと
Okay.
人と関わる努力を。
Ooh.
昨日
Who's this?
Yeah.
入っておいでと言いたいけど、君大きいな。
Yeah, just a bit.
小さくなれるかい？
he's gonna get really small, like in the opening. Yes.
Yes. Adorable. I like how even though Rahab is built up to be like super powerful, she seems totally chill and totally normal.
Right.
でもわずかに人間が入ってる。
Okay.
人間が愚かな邪法のしっぺ返しで化けたというのなら話は簡単なんだけど、ねこれは。君が歩き出す前に何があったか覚えていることがあるか。
赤。
無理に思い出さずともいいさ。
A violent start. Red is
この子の面倒を見てあげなさい。
なぜわしが
一度慈悲をかけたなら独り立ちまで面倒を見るべきだ。
わしはトナカイを追わねばならん。
お前もそろそろ年を取っていい頃だ。教えただろ。
Okay.
汝の敵を愛せとは言わない。だが我々は隣人たちから愛されて行き先に迷う者には杖を貸すのが我々だ。呪いも祝福も本質は一緒だよ、リンデ。
Ooh, that is interesting.
どう受け止めるかだ。
Like it.
Okay, Alice is like, well, these guys are talking about big things.
僕がいない方がいいのなら僕はまた歩くよ。
どこへ？
わからないけど。
だからお主は今からわしの知人だ。
Alice is like, that's a big word. I don't know what that means.
どこぐらい越さなければの。
僕は困ってないよ。
倒れたくせにどの口が言う。
あらまあ優しいね。そうと決まればお前はもう身内だね。
There we go.
名前はなさそうだね。どうしよっか。
また死の名付けづけが始まりよった。
Oh, she's gonna give him the name
神
Elias.
々も精霊たちも
Yeah.
君のすぐそばにいる。誰も君を顧みることがなくとも苦しく悲しく寂しさにあえいでも
Whoa.
彼らは
Not at
君
all.
をいつも見ていてくれ
Foreshadowing.
る。
Yeah. It seems like she's weaving a spell almost.
Yeah, or like a prophecy.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
エリアス。
Whoa, yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
レンフレッド。
Oh, it's
このままお前と暮らすだけにさせていたら彼女はダメになるぞ。
okay. I have some questions.
All right.
Huh.
So we got Elias' backstory. I mean, it was
Right.
very incomplete, but we got it.
Yeah.
And so
I have some questions.
Yeah, what is going on?
Yeah, because here's where they're kind of explaining a couple things. They're giving us the insight that Elias didn't choose this, as far as we know.
Right, or if he did, he forgot about it or something.
Right, but there's no direct connection to anything else previously set up unless they're trying to weave an indirect connection over a longer period of time. So this is not
Sure.
going to be an instant reveal. It's going to be a drawn out reveal over the course of, many episodes.
Okay, do you think it's possible that the what's-his-face Chimera McDick created Elias?
The reason why I think that there's something there, but it's not that specifically, is because they've interacted before and Cartophilus didn't really seem to make a big deal about.
Good point. Good point.
But I think that they've had enough things hint in a specific direction to go that the route of him being some kind of human fairy dark magic hybrid is too, there's too much potential stuff there for it to be nothing.
Right, but they're still, even while they're basically saying that that's what it is, they're
skirting along the edge.
They're skirting along the edge, and they're not fully saying it that way. They're keeping that sense of mystery and unknown about it, which is great because that's one of the things that makes magic feel magical.
Definitely. But my question stems to, what are they trying to hint at with the way Elias is...
Yeah. His intentions with Chisei.
Yeah, his intentions with Chisei are starting to get a little bit questioned.
Because in the first episode, they made it very clear. He says, these are my intentions for you, right? And there didn't seem to be any reason for him to lie at that point because the intentions that he said were pretty out there, right?
Yeah, they were already something that's like, oh, okay,
like,
really?
All right, I guess that's... I can't wait to see how they do this, right?
Yeah.
But now they're saying there's something more.
Right. And they're tying that in with Elias's backstory, meaning that in the next episode they're probably go in depth into more of, like, a little bit more into what and why.
Yeah,
and with Chise's character having this, I would say, much needed vacation from Elias with regards to, being away from his influence and his protection in a different sense, in that he has protected her from knowing specific things about the world as much as protected her from harm.
And by the way, I'm really glad that they did that whole thing of that Lyndall brought up of like, hey, you seem to be very like content with like his whole
being his pet,
and him trying to tame you or whatever that's supposed to mean. And because that was something that it felt like was there, but because of who Chise is as a person, she's not going to be very like stand up for herself kind of a thing.
Well, she's not only gonna do that in very specific instances like last episode. She's going to be much more lenient when it comes to people's other behaviors as long as they accept her.
Sure.
Because she's been rejected her whole life.
Right.
And that does something to you psychologically, but we're not saying that there's anything about Chise that's irreparably damaged.
Oh, no.
But this is going to skew her perception of someone like Elias, whereas everyone else has a very different reaction from him.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that they brought up very well, was that Lyndall had a kind of a nervous, just... what are you? Who are you? Kind of reaction to Elias initially. Chise had a little bit of a nervous one as well. But there are all these specific people in his past that didn't fear him.
Yeah.
As much as others, and gave like huge kind of steps towards his character growing and becoming who he is right now.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't know. That they addressed the whole idea of his origins.
Yeah.
But then they're like, nope, he doesn't actually know. Like, that's... I love that they did that, but at the same time it feels like this huge tease, because it's like they're saying, oh yeah, that thing that you really want to know more about, we're going to bring that up, and then not answer it.
Well, not answer it fully, and I think that's something that's not 100% true, because they did answer a lot of things.
Yes, they
did, know that
for so many more questions
now, Elias is not he is not human. He is not even
he's some hybrid in the middle.
Yes, but he's not a person as far as we know of that just experimented with dark magic, which is what
even though they did address that as being a possibility. Yeah.
She said, Rahab said, I would normally guess you were just a person that experimented with black magic, and then this happened. And then she had this but, like, ... and then just skips along to something else. So it's like she was thinking about what it could be, but decided not to say anything, maybe for Elias's sake. Because
I don't know.
If when he said his little memory thing of, what do you remember, Red? It's like, hey, they did this kind of thing of kind of calm him down, like, it's okay if you don't remember, like, you don't have to try and bring it up.
Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, like, all he remembers is Red. That might not be a good thing. Let's change the subject.
Yeah. I get the vibe that in as much as Elias is trying to control Chise, I'm guessing that at some point in between that point in his backstory and now, there were some people that decided, we are not going to put we're not going to put him in a box and study him, but we're going to kind of ask that he be watched for the rest of his life.
Sure.
And that's why the whole thing with the church was
yeah, absolutely. I could totally see that. I could also see it being something where maybe Elias distanced himself from other people sort of as both for his safety and like peace of mind, so if they think he's some kind of monster or whatever, but also maybe for their own safety. Since he did seem to like almost like want to eat Chisei in the previous episode.
Oh, and that's a good point.
And there was a part that like I wasn't sure what they like. I think this is what they were doing, but they left it ambiguous, right? They didn't draw too much attention to it. But when Elias meets Lyndall for the first time, and he's like, "I'm starving," or whatever, "I'm hungry," right? And Lyndall's about to feed him, and there's the soup. They show Elias basically staring at Lyndall's neck.
Really? Like his neck in particular?
Yeah, like it was this lingering shot, and it had Lyndall's chin and then like his neck, and that was it. And then they cut back to Elias's eyes. And it's one of those things where I was like, okay, are they insinuating that like he was wanting to like attack him right there or something? But you can't really tell because Elias's expression is, he's Elias, right? So it was one of those things where it's like you don't really know. But
I think there's something there, but I didn't see the neck bit. So
it was really like they didn't draw attention to it much at all.
Okay, so it was a glimpse kind of thing.
Right.
It wasn't a
they probably spent like
of a shot.
Like a second or a second and a half.
Yeah, that's not really lingering. That's
but it was still one of those things where maybe it was a little bit longer than that, but it was one of those things where it's like, why are they showing that shot? Like,
Okay, I do like the idea of them going and teasing a little bit of potentially him being, just a being that consumes, and doesn't really discriminate from like.
He certainly went to town on the Chimera.
Yes, that's very true. I get the vibe. That the reason why Elias, if we went full into the Elias is not, doing this for the, the betterment of Chisei. This is all selfish for him. He could need her to be primed with magic, and then if he eats her, just as basically a way to keep him going. There.
I don't think that. I
don't think they're going that direction.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I could see something where if this is going along the lines of the whole Beauty and the Beast thing, right? They've very much shown that that's like a story that they're referencing and stuff, and having similarities to and parallels. But they're also doing things very differently.
Right.
What if the Beast knew that the Beauty was his one chance at basically returning to normal?
Okay.
And that was why he got specifically a slave beggy. That's why he wants her to be his apprentice and everything, because he's hoping that true love will, et cetera, restore him.
I think we jumped way too hard into this theory.
Probably.
But okay, I'll put that out there as like a feeler for just future stuff. Like if there's any evidence to support that. I don't think there's too much.
Hopefully,
but I like the idea that his character, when they showed up and it was like, I'm hungry, there's extra layers to that.
Right, exactly.
It's not that he's necessarily physically hungry. Maybe he's magically starved.
Exactly,
and that's why he was smaller. Maybe he was just thinner.
Yeah,
he hasn't restored his magic.
Sure.
And maybe the way that he's cursed is that in order to restore his magic, he needs to basically... It's not vampiric or anything. He needs to have a steady flow of magic.
Okay, yeah, and right, exactly. Because if he consumes... Because what I'm guessing is that it's probably something where he doesn't necessarily consume people, but he consumes things that are magical. Because they said that there was like a hint of humanity in there, but it was mostly like he was a fairy, right?
Right, and we don't know what fairies eat.
Right, we don't know what fairies eat, but I'm guessing their diet is a little bit different and a bit more magically inclined. And maybe he got Chisei because he's like, okay, she's a slave beggy. Since she's constantly radiating magic, he no longer needs to eat. Just being around
that's a very
her,
good idea.
Like,
very good idea.
Basically,
I like this.
satiates his hunger.
I like where this theory is evolving into, but I like it more along the lines of not eating, but necessarily being like a life giver. Because it makes sense. Magic being the source of life.
Yeah.
All humans would carry a little bit of magic within them.
Sure.
And then it would make sense if you went the eating route. But what if you went around the route of just the essence of magic radiating from Chisei is enough to basically end up slowly kind of being a way to restore him.
Yeah.
But potentially also if she finds a way to end up channeling her magic fully, she could even save him.
Right.
With, her magic. And his origins being shown here is more of to show what's the key to actually, bringing him back to that place to where he can, one, restore his memory.
Right.
Two, be turned back into what he originally was.
Right.
The reason why I think that they might have a blend of both or go something completely different is because if they go the Chimera route and he's some kind of transformed thing, I remember them saying a lot in the cat episode that Cartophilus, there's nothing they could do to undo the Chimera stuff. Like, once it's done, it's done.
Right, but slave eggs break all the rules.
Slave eggs break all the rules, and magic is about miracles, not as much into the alchemical kind of weird magic science stuff.
Okay, if it was something where being around Chisei, because her constantly being this sort of magic aura that basically helps him in some way, right? Then that gives a whole new meaning, not just the whole, like, oh, I miss her, but when he's, like, that was around my point, the house,
yeah. And it's so cold, because, well, I mentioned that in the episode as well, her magic's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it feels literally cold.
Right.
Yeah. That would be cool to see how he reacts in his, in his state. Not emotionally, but, like, physically, if it actually affects him in some way. Like, is his magical nature altered in some way because she's not there. Going into the episode, though, they had a lot of kind of little continuity bits in this episode, which I thought was very cool.
They did.
You notice like all the bit with the dragons. You had the bit with the little dragon growing up. It was so big.
That was
so
great.
Cute.
I loved that.
Them going back to Nevin, just creating the wand now.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Like,
which is something that they said would happen, in the previous episodes. But then when they did the flashback, the master, Rahab, she mentioned to Lyndall, she's like, remember what I taught you? And she listed off, like, these little poems of sorts. These little, like, philosophical
little
phrases.
Proverbs.
Yeah. And one of them was like, use your staff to guide those who are lost, or give a staff to those who are lost.
Something like that.
Now, staff.
Yeah.
One.
They're
lost.
Yeah.
Chisei. Is there a connection there?
I think so.
I think so too. I think that this is to show a lineage. A lineage of magic being passed along, and how there can be a transforming effect. I think this is a thematic thing. When they had Rahab seems to be this character who's just, super built up to be powerful, but she has so much humanity about her.
Yes, which I love, because that's
because they could have made her so grand and so
but that's
over
the fairies.
Top.
That's what you do for the Queen and King of Fairies and things like that.
Not for human mages.
She is still very much a human, even though she is a mage, and she's undoubtedly lived for
a long
probably
time.
Thousands of years.
Yeah.
But
now we have a direct translation from Rahab to Chisei, like all the way.
Yeah,
but
Rahab,
one of the things
Lyndall,
that's cool
Elias,
is, Elias shows up and he's this anomaly. He's not necessarily a mage. He's not necessarily a fairy. He's not necessarily a human. He's all these things that could cause problems. But then they have a way in which Rahab's teachings are passed down through something that many could consider to be a monster in order to help release the beauty that was within Chisei, who is someone that to humans, of course, her life had been rejected as a monster or something like this. So it's the transforming effect of something good being passed down, and I like that.
Right, they're
really
both alone together, they're both outcasts together, or in a lot of ways they're both broken together.
Right, but because of Lyndall and Rahab's choice, they were able to help Elias. That means Elias was able to help Chisei.
Rippling effect,
exactly. It's the consequences of our choices having large ramifications that we could never see the ends of. And I think that this story goes into themes quite a lot, but this one with choice is really, really important.
Because they've been bringing that up since like the very beginning of the show.
Oh yeah.
What is Elias gonna choose, and what's Chisei going to choose?
Yeah.
One of the things that I just want to bring up, like I am really excited for the whole wand making process.
Yes.
Like because like it's kind of along the lines of like anytime you see someone in a story like making a sword, or even better, the rare occasion when they make armor,
right?
Because it's that whole idea of like, that's one of those fundamental aspects of like the magical land, experience, right?
Yep.
And while in Harry Potter it was great having him like get his wand and all that stuff, the idea of making a wand, that is much cooler than way buying a wand.
Maybe she could use some dragon heartstring in this
wand. Yeah.
Because Nevin.
Or
the wood.
Or a phoenix feather.
Just because
there's a phoenix in the opening,
In the opening?
Yeah.
But there were no feathers on that phoenix. That was all just fire.
I know.
If anything, I think it would be cool to show that Chisei, in the same way, we were just talking about that, in the same way that Elias has a true form that we don't know about, Chisei and the Slay Beggy has kind of a true form of magic that we don't know about.
And it might end up getting physically manifested at some point in the future, which would be very cool.
Yeah, I think that will probably happen. If anything, the opening kind of lends us to believe it's giving us a little bit of the
I hope
the
that's something
that
happens.
Yeah, we don't know why it would happen, but it's pretty legit.
That would be so cool.
It would be really cool.
It would be really cool.
With this episode kind of being a 2-parter or 3-parter, or like it's
they're getting
the beginning,
more into that linear.
It's the beginning of another linear story. Yep. I'm liking that, and yet this one had no conflict.
Yeah, it felt very like mild and relaxing. Like this is exactly basically what I think they should have done for the previous episode.
Yes, I agree.
And for this 100%. they probably felt a lot more comfortable doing it, because one, it doesn't resolve everything completely, so they could still have more conflict in the next one, because they've showed us like the beginning part of Elias's backstory, but there's still more that they need to talk about.
Right.
But then also because it's Elias's backstory, they probably felt more comfortable having that be the main conflict and the main focus. Whereas with the previous episode, that since it didn't have anything super built up to go into, I feel like that was why maybe they tried to do both. No episodic stuff and also an episodic thing sort of slipped in there at the end.
Yeah, so with the next episode, I could see them doing the wand stuff. They go a little bit more into Elias's backstory, and we get more dragon things. But I feel like they're building up to something relationship conflict wise.
Sure.
Like here's the thing. Elias is going to find out that Chisei is learning all this stuff from Lyndall.
Right,
and I think this is what
he probably already knows.
Yes, he probably knows that Lyndall is going to talk to her about this.
Yeah, exactly.
But
why else would he have her go there by herself?
Right, I think he's like, well, if it happens, it happens.
Right.
But I think that that's something that is big in terms of the show, because we don't know really, how would I say this? We don't know how mature Elias is.
Right.
Like, in terms of how patient or how understanding he is when it comes to, Chisei's feelings and such.
But
she was going to tell him something probably pretty important right before they flew away on the dragon. But with this knowledge, it's good that she'll have this context there, because then when she comes back, she can have another talk with him like they did at the lake.
The
little pond thing.
Right.
And I'm excited to see how Elias responds, because
I'm excited for that too, but I'm more excited to see what Chisei says, and more importantly, how she says it.
Yes, I agree, but I think I already have an idea of what and how she's going to say.
I do too, but still.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, this was a lot of fun. The next episode, if you want to watch it, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon's early access. You can get on that, and it also comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about Elias, Ancient Magus Bride stories, whatever.
Magic.
And we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.